Alright, so we are in the daily time frame, and I would like to go step by step as to what it is happening right now and what we could see eventually in future moves. Not too different from previous weeks, as I have spoken on a couple of prior videos. We still are in a higher low zone compared from this low. Now I want to go straight into the daily time frame, and the first thing that I could spot, it is a really nice downturn that we've been putting in since the beginning of December, which means that we have been creating lower highs all throughout this area, and it looks that most likely this is a lower high for a lower move. Now, in my opinion, based on my analysis, based on what the chart or how the chart is looking like, this is going to be a move lower onto the 2000s or 1800s, 1900 levels. We will have to see by then how low price moves, but what I would like to see in order for the market to not make a lower move and break out of this structure, it is simply to create some form of support in a higher low structure once we start trending lower. Okay, so we do know by now that this is a previous support level that now has become resistance, which means that most likely price will have rejection to lower levels from this structure point or zone, however you want to call it. Now, based on structure, after this leg up, if we are going to move higher, we need to have a correction. Now, how do we know if from here, or however, whatever price decides to reverse, we're going to keep dropping lower or we're going to reverse and move higher? Okay, so for that, I would like to see first of all, price make a lower move, and from there see where we're able to find support. The ideal area, in my opinion, would be this one, because there is a lot of liquidity here. Now, not only we need to put support in there, but we need to make a higher high from this level, which means that once we move lower and we put support, once we start doing this leg up, if we do it, we need to break higher than that, okay, and in order to create a higher high and break out of this daily range. All right, so those are the two scenarios that I have for these upcoming days. Is one, we might start retracing, which we will most likely do because of the structure, and as the market moves in waves, we will most likely make a lower move. Now, from this level is when things get interesting, and we would like to see, we will have to watch the market closely to see if we will move higher or we will roll over lower. Okay, like I said in previous videos, as traders, most of the time we will just have to watch on the sidelines what the market is doing, and once we get that confirmation, then we pull the trigger and we buy or sell based on what the market is telling us. A lot of people, in my opinion also, and it happened to me as well, that we like to guess what is going to happen because we want to have the best entry, right? But that's not the best way to trade. Sometimes, or most of the time, we have to give the market some money, some move. You have to let some moves go in order for you to make money. So in this case, we will have to give the market this move right here, move lower, and from here we will be able to see what's the most potential move to happen. If we're gonna move higher, obviously based on candles, based on support or resistance levels that are getting respected, we might move higher, we might move lower. Okay, what if we move lower? Okay, so one thing I always like to say that I have learned throughout the time is that the market will always look for the majority of loss. Okay, As we know, more than 90% of people lose in this business or in this career. So this is the first thing to have in mind. It is that the majority of people are losing. Okay, so what is the majority of people looking or waiting for me in order to monetize this? And this is important. So like we all were expecting that Bitcoin was not going to come down to the 30s again, and here we are. We all thought that by the end of the year it was going to be to 100,000. The majority of people were waiting for 100,000, and guess what? It didn't happen. So we will most likely keep seeing, as we have been seeing throughout the entire history of the markets, that we will not get what the majority of people are waiting for. That's why we have to think a little different. So in case we get a move lower, I also like to have extension levels for me to see when price might reject after we put a lower low. So let's say, for example, that we keep dropping and we make a lower low. This is the extensions level that I'll be looking at. Sorry, first of all would be 2000 flat, and after that 1700. Now once that happens, we will be really testing these previous lows right here, and in order for us to keep the bull cycle or the bullish structure in higher time frames, going back to the basics, after this higher high, we should put a higher low or equal low to this level. Now, if we go to lower time frames and we sweep these levels, which means that we start testing or trading at 1700, 1800, we will be testing these levels, and obviously the market will be testing also everybody's emotions, to say like that. So what I would like to see if we go to those levels is that we get right back up really quick. If we start opening candles, daily and weekly candles, below, I would say 1900, it would be most likely that we are shifting from a bull cycle into a bear cycle or bear market. Into a bear market, but we will have to adapt once that happens. And obviously, if you are trading leverage, there is a lot of moves that you can take advantage of. For example, this sell that we will most likely see onto these levels, and then from there you can decide if you buy or sell based on what I have already explained. If you like this video, if you found it valuable, leave me a like, comment, and subscribe. I will also link below a group chat where I post all my analysis. Thank you for your support. This is Jose. I'm logging out.